Why do people take their life to suicide? Depression. What is causing the depression? You know, that's the thing in people. Somebody that's been there on the edge will tell you how they felt and why, many of the reasons. So it won't be just that immediate reason then. It'll be a combination of reasons and a build-up too. It's not very nice feeling poorly, feeling like the world's against you. You feel that you're not good enough. You feel that you can't cope with whatever's happening with your situations or people around you. I want to talk about many people trying to take their life because of broken relationships as well. Broken down relationships, broken down family relationships, or broken down relationships, or broken down marriages, anything like that, okay? It's many people that get it in their head that they're not good enough, and then they turn around and want to end their life by doing something or threatening suicide or actually trying to take their life. You know, been there before. Silly when I look back how I allowed people to degrade me so much that I would be the one that wanted to take myself out of this world rather than walk away from toxic people. I didn't know how to walk away from toxic people. And a lot of us get ourselves into that situation. We don't know how to walk away from toxic situations. And that's where we feel that we're trapped. We also get ourselves into situations where perhaps you're worried about money. Perhaps you've got debts coming out. Perhaps you're in some kind of situation where you're worried about something or somebody. You know, there are many reasons why people end up being depressed, but what we've got to do is how can we prevent someone from taking their life? How can we prevent someone from self-harming or from doing something silly to themselves? So without promoting the method, because we have an active duty when we're talking to somebody or promoting how we're feeling on Facebook, that we don't share how we try to injure oneself. Yeah. So it's okay to say certain things that you're feeling poorly, etc. But we do have a duty to not pass on, because we'll learn. Where do we learn this from? I learned how to commit suicide from my friends. When I was a young girl, I had friends that I would join. We both were miserable. We both were upset. We couldn't cope with the world, but didn't really talk about why we were upset. No, we just said, I don't want to live anymore. So we would plot and plan and do things together. One of us would end up in hospital and the other one wouldn't, as you can imagine. And there was no aftercare. And it starts at a very, very young age of this pattern of wanting to, once you do it once, it becomes a bit of an easy access to do it again and again and again. And it becomes a horrible pattern. The thought of it, that thing that comes up, that reoccurrence of, I don't want to be here anymore. Can that be prevented? Can you help someone? Can you listen? Can you pass back knowledge to someone and say, you know what, it's going to be okay, you know? I find that the very difficult people to help is the ones that are drinking. You want to help them, but they're the ones that have got to help themselves. Drinking continues to bring down your immune system and can creep in more depression. And then in comes the bad behaviours. Here comes the rejection that you're feeling from other people because they don't want to accept your behaviour, or you're hanging around with people that are also drinking all the time. And then look at that pattern of those people that you're around as well. What's going on in their life? Are they good role models? Is their life structured? Have they got stability? Have they got problems? I wonder why we hang around with certain people's over the years. I mean, when I look back in the people that I hung around with, it was people that had problems, very much the same, similar problems, and very much similar background, you know. So I think in order to change a way of thinking and overcoming depression, we have to come away from all what we've known and retrain the thought process to overcome these hurdles. So I recommend, as a survivor of suicide myself, started at a very, very young age. 13 was the first time that I tried to end my life. I can see clearly now there were signals and signs and symptoms before that. Going into adulthood, plenty of times where I've tried to achieve and mean it. It didn't work, but I know now that my purpose now is to go out there and save lives and try to prevent people from taking their lives by giving this education, by giving them a talk, and giving the knowledge. There are ways, better ways to go forward with life, and you're not alone in this situation. There's many of us that know and understand how it feels to feel degraded, humiliated, belittled, all of those things that you're probably feeling. Yeah? But you're a beautiful person inside out. And whoever told you you're not a liar, okay? So tell yourself, at the end of the day, there are people out there that care about you. I'd be one of those. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to someone. Even when someone does something nasty to me, I can see through their pain and why they would be like that. Why? And unfortunately, some people, they learn some really bad behavior and they don't know how to break that cycle. And so sometimes we have to break that cycle and confronting things that are uncomfortable, of course. But breaking the cycle is about listening and understanding. I'm Kerry Mussington. I just wanted to tell you not to give up, and it's okay not to be okay. The old cliche. But it's not okay to commit suicide. It is not okay to show that path to other people. I know this now, because I would not want to be responsible for teaching someone to do that. So let's prevent it together, raise awareness, and start talking and listening to one another from now on. Each day, somebody dies of suicide. Every 40 seconds, someone dies of suicide. Okay? How can we prevent it? We can prevent it by talking to somebody. We can prevent it by not promoting those methods. We can prevent it by giving somebody a listening ear. We can prevent suicide. Even we ourselves, we have a part to play in humanity, and we can prevent suicide by breaking the cycle of depression.